Hello everybody, this video is being made because of some sad news in the wrestling world today, as one of the more interesting wrestlers of the 1980s sadly passed away today in Playboy Buddy Rose. As of right now, there is no cause of death that has been determined. He was found dead in his home today by his wife in Vancouver, Washington. He lived to be 56 years old, which, when we talk about in this day and age how, wrestlers don't live past 45, this guy lived to be 56 years old. A little bit of info. Buddy Rose was trained in the early 1970s by Vern Gagne and Billy Robinson. He made his debut in 1973 against Bob Remus, and he wrestled pretty much in the AWA, the WWF, and the Pacific Northwest, which was owned by Don Owen. One of the more memorable rivalries that Buddy Rose was in 1986. Him and Doug Summers taking on the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. They had very good matches where both teams lost a lot of blood, and one of the more famous matches is the match that took place Christmas night, 1986, inside the steel cage, where the Midnight Rockers defeated the team of Buddy Rose and Doug Summers, and they were managed by Sherry Martel, the late great sensational Sherry in the AWA. Of course, Buddy Rose, not a lot of people might know this, but he was in the first WrestleMania. He was in the very first WrestleMania match under the mask of the Executioner. He lost to Tito Santana. Now, his last match that he was ever in was in 2005 in Tampa, Florida at Wrestle Reunion. He was in a six-man tag. Himself, Colonel De Beers, and Cowboy Bob Orton fought Jimmy Valiant, Roddy Piper, and Jimmy Snuka. And in the mid to late 1990s, in the Portland, Oregon area, he hosted a talk-in show. Now, while we think of Buddy Rose as a jobber maybe, he did win a lot of championships in his career. As I mentioned, he was co-holder of the AWA World Tag Team titles. He held the Vancouver version of the Canadian Tag Team titles on two separate occasions, once with Chris Colt, the other with Rip Oliver, and he was also the Vancouver version of the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Champion. In Hawaii, he was the Hawaii Heavyweight Champion, and also was co-holder of the Hawaii Tag Team titles with Big John Studd. In the San Francisco area, he was two times San Francisco's version of the United States Heavyweight Champion, and San Francisco's version, one half of the World Tag Team Champions with Ed Wiskowski. And then his most dominating area has to be the Pacific Northwest, where he was 8-time Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion and 12-time co-holder of the Pacific Northwest Tag Team titles, twice with Jesse Ventura, 4 times with Colonel De Beers or Ed Wiskowski, 2 times with Rip Oliver, and once with Stan Stasiak, Brian Adias, Kurt Hennig, and Avalanche. One match that I remember seeing Buddy Rose in, and this has been on WWE Classics. It's no longer 24/7. It's WWE Classics. A 10-man tag match that took place in Philadelphia, the best 3 of 5. It was Buddy Rose, Ray Stevens, Superstar Billy Graham, Don Morocco, and Mr. Fuji against Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Rocky Johnson, Andre the Giant, Pedro Morales, and Salvatore Bellomo. I've seen that match. That's one of the best matches I've ever seen, and I think for many reasons, because number one, it's in Philadelphia, and those fans in the Spectrum back in the day, they were so big in the wrestling, and number two, just the amount of talent that's on there. I mean, really, on one team alone, you have 4 WWE Hall of Famers, Andre, Snuka, Morales, and Johnson, and then 3 on the other, Morocco, Fuji, and Graham. And really, with the exception of Belomo, and this is no disrespect to Belomo, everybody in that match is a Hall of Famer. They really are. And this is a great match. If you can find it, if you can find the video with it, it's on WWF's Most Unusual Matches. Of course, the match is clipped because of, time restraint to put on the tape. But it really is a good match. And when it does come on again on WWE Classics On Demand as a shorties or, for a Hall of Fame wrestler, I definitely recommend you watch that match. It's a really good match. But my heart goes out to his family, the Pershman family, and really this is a tough time for him or for his family. An unexpected loss today in the world of professional wrestling. Playboy Buddy Rose found dead at the age of 56.